Pretty cool stuff. This is the first time I've been watching the Y Files, and all of this rings true to me about seeing like the hollow moon. That's funny, because I actually believe that all celestial bodies that are in the universe that are spherical are actually hollow. As an object is spinning and it cools down, the inside of the core will separate, leaving a hollow on the inside. Now the moon is dead, so it doesn't have an internal core. But I believe on the center of the Earth, there's actually like a miniature sun, and it's hollow on the Earth. But besides that, anti-gravity and zero-point energy, I just found out apparently that anti-gravity is actually closely linked to zero-point energy, and that doesn't surprise me, but it threw me off. I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. And I found out that the more I watched the video in question about anti-gravity technology being suppressed by the government, the more I realized that I was right. That if I ever found how to make free, unlimited energy, you keep that to yourself. Keep that to yourself. And of course, my mission in life over the next 40 years is to figure out the anti-gravity equation, which I know you need spinning magnets. And if you look at all celestial bodies that hover, it is a sphere, okay? But the electromagnetic core is more like in the shape of a halo. So using that understanding of electromagnetism, because there's no such thing as gravity, it's all a form of electromagnetism, you would need a halo set up in parallel that spins at a specific frequency, probably F sharp, because watching the video of the pyramid was tuned into the key of F sharp. Well, on my other background is music. I play music all the time. So all I gotta do is figure out the frequency of F sharp, and then I just have to mimic that. Now, if I look at the other, there's another video with somebody who uses cancer, or a frequency that cures cancer, kills specific cells. You have to have a parallel. Everything is in parallel. The Fibonacci spiral is a parallel circuit. Birkeland currents, if you look at it, it spirals just like the your DNA. It's sets of two. It's in parallel of equal frequencies. And so what my thinking process is, I would need to set up an electromagnetic made of magnets, a halo that will spin in the key of F sharp, which I would match the frequency. And frequency is pretty much 1 hertz is 1 rotation. So 60 hertz, that's in your electrical outlet, is the aperture of electromagnets. Of magnets are spinning at 60 times per second. Same thing with video games. Now you have like 120 frames per second. That's 120 hertz. And so I just have to match. I have to match the frequency of the piano. Well, I'll have to have 2 sets of magnets rotating at F sharp, and another one rotating at F sharp, probably the opposite direction, which will create a balance. Because if you look at helicopters that have 2 blades, same size, they spin at the exact same speed, but one spins clockwise, the other spins counterclockwise. Same with particles. If one particle that is a twin is spinning one direction up, then the other one must go down. And so to create a balance force, you have to create a twin system of electromagnets. It has to be twin. It has to be in parallel, that they spin at the exact same frequency but in opposite directions, either right next to each other or directly on top of each other. So I'll have to figure that out through trial and error. I'm going to figure that out. Whether or not I have to use lasers, because that one guy used lasers in order to create a time machine. It's not a time machine. It's more like a time distortion machine, where it holds things in suspension. Time is only going forward. You can't go back. And you can't control time flow either. Really, you can only suspend your time. So that device where the guy jumps into the time portal and gets released like 2 years later, he was just suspended in time. Just like your body is standing still and the electromagnets are protecting you while time continues to go forward. Okay, it's not a time machine; it's time distortion. So, anyways, now that I'm knowing that, now with my ideas of anti-gravity, it's going to go into the 0 point energy. I'm going to have to figure out how to create 0 point energy. It shouldn't be too hard. And I saw that little box and it was making so much power. I would have to use a car battery, and then I would have to have spinning magnets of some sort, spinning at a specific frequency, which should, electricity is interesting how it actually makes everything go in exponentials. So if you have a little bit of energy, you would push a lot more energy out, voltage. And voltage is really the key of a lot of different stuff. But it's just how fast you spin the magnets. I'll have to figure this out. So it might have to deal with crystals, because crystals can be used for piezoelectricity. That might be a thing that I'm gonna have to use with it to figure out how to make 0 point energy. Because crystals, it might be like exponential. If you put in a little bit of energy into the crystals, it would increase the power output. Whatever. The electricity is really weird. But anyways, so I have to figure out how to tap into the ether and figure out how to make 0 point energy. And once I do make 0 point energy, right after that, I'll be able to figure out how to make anti-gravity. Closely related, but it has to do with twins. You have to have a twin system, and you have to have a frequency, probably at F sharp, not entirely sure, but I'll figure that out. And as time goes on, as soon as I figure all this stuff out, I'm going to make a document, I'm going to put it in a folder, videos on how to make it, blueprints, everything. I'm just going to have one download source where you can download this all. It's going to be completely free for the entire world to see. And then I'm going to put it out there, and then you can download it before I die, before the government offs me. Hopefully it will be spread like wildfire on TikTok, YouTube, and it will be absolutely free. How to make your own free energy, unlimited, how to make your own anti-gravity vehicles and whatnot. And it will be out there for free, because we didn't have the internet back in the day, but we do today. Remember, this is a lifelong passion of mine. It's a lifelong dream. This is what I'm going to do. And so, yeah, future goals. I'm going to figure out how to make free energy and anti-gravity. And once I figure that out, I'm going to give it away absolutely for free. And I'm not going to patent it. All the technology, all the videos, how-to videos, how to actually make it yourself. And then hopefully it can be downloaded as many times as possible. So even if some government comes in, busts through my door, information is out there. You can't stop that. Can't stop that. So, yeah, so stay tuned. This is a 40-year goal. Over the next 10 years, I'm going to really lean into it and do a lot of homemade experimentation. This is my passion, so I don't need anybody else's money. I don't need anybody else's equipment. I want to figure this out for myself, and I want to give it away for free. This is a lifelong goal of mine, and nobody's going to stop me. It's going to be fun. I'm going to be a mad scientist one day. That's my dream goal, is to become a mad scientist to the world. So that's a lot of fun stuff. And hopefully I can bring anti-gravity to you one day. Anyways, y'all have a good day. Bye.